In this video, I'm gonna go over the top 4 leg day mistakes sabotaging your progress. If you're training lower body, at least you're doing better than the typical gym bro, but your gains could be so much faster if you just optimize certain things. The first leg day mistake is becoming too obsessed with progression. This is very common with the big compound movements like squats and deadlifts. A lot of people become super excited to get their lifts up, which is good, but sometimes they take it too far and sacrifice everything for 5 more pounds. They sacrifice their form. Slowly but surely, every few weeks they'll round a little more on deadlifts or go slightly higher on squats because they're too impatient. They sacrifice their muscle size. Becoming too obsessed with strength means that they aren't getting the most amount of stimulus from these lifts. And they also sacrifice their strength. Counterintuitively, being so obsessed on your main lifts will make you weaker than if you were to take it slowly. You should rarely be taking your squats and deadlifts to failure. You'll make better strength and size gains if you leave 1 to 3 reps in the tank. You also won't get injured and you'll be setting yourself up with good habits. You are not Eric Bugenhagen. Going slightly lighter will allow you to work on your form and get much better at the lift. It also helps prevent plateaus. This is a video of me deadlifting back in 2019. I had no business doing 385 with this form. This was fucking dumb. So keep your ego in check and you'll make more gains in the long run. The second leg day mistake is not training hard enough. But didn't you just say people train the squat and deadlift too hard? I did say that, but the other lifts, not named squat and deadlift, are usually taken for granted. They just aren't as sexy. The leg press, the hack squat, back extension, lunges, machines and shit, they're kind of boring. No one's ever gonna ask you how much you can hamstring curl. But what these exercises lack in coolness, they make up for in pure hypertrophy and lower injury risk. I guarantee you, if you spent 6 months going hard as hell on back extensions and leg curls, your hamstrings will be way bigger than the guy who just does deadlifts. But these lifts also carry over to the main movements. Getting a stronger leg curl will lead to bigger hamstrings, which will lead to a stronger deadlift. All the best strength athletes do bodybuilding on the side. I'm not saying that you need to go Tom Platz mode every time you step into the gym. Just take these exercises as serious as your squat and deadlift. Write down your weight and reps. Try to improve it every single week. It will be uncomfortable to go to failure, to feel the burn, but it will be worth it. The next leg day mistake, people aren't exposing the muscle. What do I mean by this? I mean performing the exercise so you get the maximum stimulus. If I'm trying to grow my hamstrings, I want maximum hamstring growth and less of everything else. It starts and ends with good form. If you want to target your quads, put your knees as far in front of your toes as possible. If you want to get your hamstrings, keep your knees straight and hinge only with your hips. Remember this motto, low and slow. Control the eccentric and do a large range of motion. If you are doing a lift purely for strength, you don't need to follow this advice. But every other leg exercise should be following this motto. Especially for the first few years of your lifting, it's not about the amount of weight you can lift. It's about the stimulus you can give the muscle. So if you're doing good mornings or back extensions, keep your knees straight as you descend super deep with your hips. If you are doing leg press and want to grow some meaty quads, think low and slow. If I see another dude in my gym doing leg press like this, I'm going to lose my mind. Expose the muscle for the most gains. Doing too much is the final leg day mistake that I see. This is a manifestation of several other failures. If you aren't training hard enough and you aren't exposing the muscle, of course your leg days are going to be 3 hours long. You don't need 5, 6, 7 exercises per workout. It's not necessary. Your lower body training should be much more minimalistic than your upper body. There's not really that much to it. Just train your quads and your hamstrings. Glutes, you don't really need to isolate. But for your upper body, there's a whole list of muscles that we need to train and isolate. You can get an extremely good leg workout with just 2 to 4 exercises. The best, most advanced lifters prefer quality over quantity. If you get your quality up, you don't have to take very long in the gym. Because I don't have that many exercises, I combine my leg days with other muscle groups to get in more volume. I can only get away with that because the quality of my training is so high. Otherwise, I'd be in the gym for 3 hours. If you want to know how to structure a really good leg day, watch this video.